Orpheus was the greatest musician the world had ever known, possessing a divine lyre whose music could pause rivers, tame fierce beasts, and even make the lifeless stones tremble with emotion. Yet, the most beautiful melody he ever composed was not for the gods or nature, but for his beloved wife, Eurydice, the muse of his heart. Their happiness shone brightly like the sun, but was as fleeting as a breeze. On that fateful day, with laughter still resounding, a hidden viper lurking in the grass stole Eurydice's life away, pulling her into the realm of death before her joyous dance was complete. The pain of losing his wife shattered Orpheus's heart, leaving his music as mournful echoes that plunged the world into sorrow. Refusing to accept the cruel hand of fate, he undertook an unparalleled journey, carrying his lyre and descending into the gates of the Underworld. He crossed the pitch-black Styx, using his melancholic tunes to persuade the ferryman Charon and lull the ferocious three-headed dog Cerberus to sleep. Facing the chilling throne of Hades, lord of the dead and goddess Persephone, Orpheus chose not force, but music. He sang of love, the sorrow of separation, and the injustices of death that cut short the promise of youth. For the first and only time in the Shadowlands, tears were shed. Spirits ceased their lamentations, sinners' punishments seemed to ease, and Hades' stone heart softened. The god of death agreed to let Eurydice return to the living with one harsh condition: Orpheus must lead her out, never glancing back at her until they both emerged entirely from the darkness of the underworld. A single glance back would consign her forever to the shadows. The journey back was a terrifying ordeal of psychological torment. The path was steep, dark, and eerily silent. Orpheus walked, sweat pouring, his heart pounding fiercely. He strained to hear a footstep, a breath of his beloved behind him, but only an ominous silence responded, for a spirit makes no sound. A dark thought began to fester in his mind. Did Hades deceive him? Was Eurydice truly following him, or was he merely leading an invisible nothing back to the world above? Doubt and longing wrenched at him with every heavy step. As the light of the surface world flickered ahead, joy surged in Orpheus's heart. He saw the sky and felt life again. In the distracted bliss of happiness and the overwhelming urge to share this moment with his beloved wife, he forgot the crucial vow. As soon as his foot touched the sunlight, he swung around. And tragedy struck its hardest blow. Eurydice truly stood right behind him, but still within the shadows. As their eyes met, her smile barely formed before her body began to dissolve. Orpheus desperately lunged to hold his wife, but his hands grasped only air. She slipped towards the abyss, whispering a faint farewell before darkness swallowed her forever. There was no second miracle, no melody that could sway the underworld a second time. Orpheus returned to the living realm, spending his remaining days as a soulless wanderer, roaming with his incomplete song about a love that almost triumphed over death, yet faltered in a moment of heart's weakness.